Hello again, and welcome to Candid Coach Conversations. I'm Kimberly Boyd,
And I'm Shunta Montgomery.
and we're glad you're here today. Oh my gosh, welcome back, Shunta. I'm glad you hopped on. I'm glad to see you, and welcome to all the viewers and listeners. I have a question for you, Shunta.
Might have an answer.
We're curious. So, what I know is that you've been in the mental health world for a while. You're a licensed professional counselor. You've got kiddos, you've got a husband, you've got grandkids. You do not have dogs. And you decided to become a certified Live Life Fully coach. So, what I want to know is what led you to the decision to become a certified Live Life Fully coach?
Well, when I made that decision, first of all, when I made the decision to actually hire a coach, it was during the time I just graduated. Not just graduated, just finished my hours. I had went to Growth Day, came back from Growth Day, and I was like, okay, now what? And so the coaching opportunity presented itself. I was like, okay, this is going to help me with my now what. And then I got so much from our coaching sessions where it propelled me not to just now what, but like my future, my purpose, creating my generational wealth. I always knew that I was built for greatness. I just never knew how I was going to get to greatness. And I believe coaching has helped me get to greatness to that next level.
I think that is incredible. Oh my gosh. And thank you for sharing. And when you say, I always knew I was built for greatness, tell me what you mean by that.
Well, I believe that I've been through so much in my life and I have looked at it so differently. Not that I'm any different from anyone else. It's just I look at it differently. Like even as a young age when I was going through it, had this mentality that there must be a greater reason why I'm going through this. And I'm not going through this for myself. And so I just believe I went through so much ish as a kid that there has to be a bigger, better plan for me. God is out there like preparing me for greatness because of what I went through as a kid.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So, what I'm hearing, and I don't know who said this first, and I do love it, is that even as a kiddo, you were not seeing it as this is happening to me, but it is happening for me. Because it was like the pearl, like it was getting you ready to become the amazing Shunta.
Absolutely.
I love it. And I'd love to share too, as you were talking, I was like, so growing up, I did not know for sure that I was built for greatness. And what I did know for sure is I was going to prove people wrong. So as a little girl, as far back as I can remember, my dad would ask me questions like, will you ever amount to anything? If I was asked that once, I was asked that a bazillion times. And I paused because I'm like, I don't even know what bazillion is. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Okay, but I was asked a lot if I'd ever amount to anything. And then the other question he was asked is he would say, Kimberly, what are we going to even do with you? Maybe we should just put you in the trash can. So those comments started, like I said, as far back as I can remember. And I don't know. I don't think he was trying to be ugly. Although looking back, I'm like, who says that to a person?
Yeah.
But then growing up in the home that I grew up in, there was lots of domestic violence. My dad was an alcoholic and he was a pharmacist. And back then, they didn't have all the rules like we have today. And so when you owned your own pharmacy, he had free access to pills. So he was on pills, which pills and alcohol does not equal a super kind person. So going back to what you were saying, like you always knew you were built for greatness. And while I don't think I always thought I was built for greatness, I did know for a fact that I did not want to live the life that my mom lived with my dad. And I was going to amount to something because I was going to prove him wrong. So similar and yet different. Yeah. So I just think it's fascinating.
So, Kimberly, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you believe that had you not been through what you went through, you would become the person that you are now?
No, I don't. I mean, of course, I don't have a crystal ball that looks backwards or forwards. Dang it.
Absolutely.
I do.
Well, you have a crystal ball.
I do have a crystal ball. It sits in my window in the kitchen. And It doesn't show me anything in the future. In fact, when you look through my crystal ball, whatever's in front of it, like in this case would be the lake and then trees, everything's upside down when you look at the crystal ball. So weird. But no, I truly think I don't want to repeat my childhood, not even for a second. And I'm thankful for all of it because I do think that that is what has given me my passion for children and the well-being of kids. Because clearly kids don't get to pick their parents. They don't get to pick their parents' decisions. So I do think that my childhood instilled that passion that I have for children. And I know it was a motivator. My friend Christian Moore, he wrote the book, The Resilience Breakthrough. And in there, he talks about street resilience. And it's tell me I can't, and I'll show you that I can. And I think I had that mentality. Like, my dad says, are you ever going to amount to anything? Yeah, buddy, I'll show you. I will.
You did.
So yeah, I'm thankful. I'm grateful for the past that I had. It did teach me a lot. It taught me the life that I didn't want to live. It showed me a lot.
Yeah.
And that I wouldn't wish on anybody. What about you? Do you think the same thing? Like, does your past, has that made you who you are?
Absolutely.
And your determination and your grit and your stamina and resilience?
Absolutely. I agree. I would never wish for that past. However, it happened. And I think that, we made the best of it, right? We're not a victim to our past. We're just like our past happened and we are this person who we are. Kind of reminds me of when you did the speech at the retreat about turning your lessons into blessings.
Yes, yeah, definitely think so. And with that, I think it's important important and to have an awareness of the mindset. I mean, do I ever get down and discouraged? Yes, I do. And then I have to talk to myself. Like you said earlier, coaching yourself. I talk to myself, I coach myself, I push myself. Because I think it's a choice. For me anyway, it's a choice. I can choose to stay in this discouragement blah, or I can choose to figure out what's one tiny step I can take forward to get out of the discouragement. One tiny step I can take to get out of the blah that's happening.
Yeah, that reminds me of, at this point, I've said it so much, I'm sure I was not the originator. So forgive me for not giving credit to the originator. But the comment that I tell a lot of people a lot of times is stop listening to yourself and start talking to yourself.
Yes.
Just like you said, mindset. I truly believe mindset is everything. And so, yes, we all have a past. We all have history. And so, yes, that past is going to creep up and things are going to come up. However, what are you speaking into yourself? What are you saying to yourself? What even are you listening to? What are you watching? Who are you with? All of that impacts your mindset and what you speak to yourself or how you listen to yourself if you're listening to yourself.
Yes. I often tell people, or I'll ask, like, how often do you watch the news? And what time of day do you watch the news? And so when people tell me they're watching it when they wake up in the morning and they watch it before they go to bed, I'm like, I don't know, but the news, I have not seen a news channel that's just shooting all the joy out. It's usually terrible stories and fear and anger and hatred and just sadness. So I'm like, if that's what you're listening to first thing, that's what your brain is hearing first thing. And if that's the last thing before you go to sleep, your brain's going to sleep with all that stuff on it.
Yeah.
Stop that. And there are studies, it's some research that's been done pretty recently about the news and how often people need to be watching the news. And it's like, if you are a news person, check it one time a day. It really doesn't change that much. From noon until 6 or 10 o'clock, there's just not a whole bunch of change.
Yeah.
So one time a day, and if you miss something, you'll hear about it in the community.
And then it's typical, it's in the same category. A murder, a robbery.
Right. Tune in for the latest. Exactly. Okay, so you became a coach then, or decided to become a coach and get certified because of the growth you saw in your own life. Same with me. That is what happened. I had a coach and my life changed rapidly and for the better, which I already had a really good life, so it was kind of wild. And then I decided, oh gosh, I want to get certified. And then thought, I want more people to coach. I'm going to write my own certification program and curriculum for coaching.
Love that.
And I love coaching. Yeah, I think it's super fun.
Agree. I agree.
Okay, beautiful. I'm glad you popped on again. And any last takeaways that you want to share?
One, I guess I could talk about the 5 people that is important for everyone to have in their life. And so the first person is a cheerleader. And I am going to use my fingers, my hand, fingers, all of this.
All of it. All of it.
And so this is according to Stacey Flowers. She did a TED Talk. And so she said, everyone needs to have a cheerleader in their life. You need someone that's going to cheer you on no matter what, be there for you, ups and downs. You got this. You can do it. The next person you need to have in your life is a mentor. And this mentor person is a person that's going to guide you. So it's someone that is a field that you're trying to get into, and they're going to guide you, walk you through the next steps, and, just show you the ropes and show you what to do and how to do it. The next person, don't get offended, but is a coach. And yes, this is the finger that I am using because, yes, a coach is the person that's going to stretch you and push you and make you very uncomfortable. When you think about you hire a personal trainer, you hire that personal trainer to coach you into success for the weight that you want, the body that you want. On the field, and you think about sports, that person is going to push your kid or push you to the fullest potential because they see the potential in them and they want it to show. So that's a coach. So when you think of a life coach, that's our job, is to push you to become the greatest person that you can become. And like Kimberly said, she had a great life, but her coach pushed her to have an even greater life and to live more intentional. And the next person is a friend. And the reason why she used a ring finger for friend is because when you think about your ring finger, you think about it's connected to your heart. And then so your friends, they're the ones that's connected to your heart. So they're the ones that know your deepest secrets. You share good times, you share bad times. Those are your friends. And then the last person you need is a peer. And your peer is just, you guys are peers. You work at the same job, basically, or you go to the same school. And that's just someone that you come in contact with. Another term, maybe an associate. So a peer or an associate. And so those are the 5 people that everyone should have in their life. And I agree. I think that, and there may be overlap, right? You can have somebody that's a cheerleader and that's also your friend.
Yes, I love it. I'm glad you brought that up. I like the reminder. And I think it's important because I think people come and go in our lives and for a season, and seasons change. And so sometimes your cheerleader will change, your mentor will change. I know for me, when it comes to a coach, I have several coaches. And so, and a coach that I had a long time ago isn't a coach with me anymore. So people are going to change. So I don't know, maybe do a check-in as the season changes, like winter, summer, spring, fall. As the season changes, who are the 5 that you have in your life for that season? And if there's one missing, where do you go to get it?
Well, I could tell you, Live Life Fully is where you can find a coach.
Okay, true. Very true. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And the retreats. The retreats are fun, super fun, and pretty powerful.
Get access to multiple coaches on that day.
That's right. Yeah. And incredible people that attend, like to meet new people. Super fun. Yeah. Okay, Shunta, thank you again for hopping on. Can't wait to see you again soon. And we are wishing everybody a fabulous day. Bye.
Bye.